Visual Honey.
Hi everyone, my name is Jewel and today I'll be doing a review on the Small Pet Select Diamond Cut Timothy hay. I was actually looking for a hay that would be safe and soft enough for my hamster to use because I had tried like alfalfa, second cut, first cut hay, and there was so much hard stems in the package and I was worried because actually these hard stems from hay can actually cause cuts in their pouches or cause eye injury due to abrasion or skin injury. So I had to always pick out these hard stems, but because of the ratio of the hard stems to the leaves, right, in the first cut, second cut, I had to pick out so much hard stems that I was left with maybe like 1/3 or like half of the initial volume of the package itself. So that was not worth my money to use the hay in such a manner. It's also very time consuming for me to like really sort it out. So then I wanted to find another kind of hay that I can use for my hamster that wouldn't be so time consuming to just sort, and also so that it can be worth my money. And when I first bought this Small Pet Select Timothy hay, right, I thought, oh, the initial amount is quite expensive because it's a 5LB package, that the one that I wanted to get. Then when it came, I realized how big that was and how long I could use the hay for. So actually in the long run, it's a lot more worth it than buying like the small packet that I used to buy. And also it's so big that you can actually share with your friends. And I think it's worth it that way as well, so that you can keep it fresh. Otherwise you can keep the hay that you buy and use it for a long time. Yeah. So now let's move on to the product itself. So I actually delivered the Small Pet Select Timothy hay and I bought the Diamond Cut Super Soft. It says very soft and easy to eat, extremely leafy with minimal stem, good for super picky pets that have difficulty with other types of hay. If you think you have a super picky pet, we recommend trying to mix this with other hays such as Perfect Blend to help provide additional fiber. Premium Farm Fresh Hay, 5LB. So actually I think this is meant to be a main feed for animals like chinchilla, guinea pigs and rabbits, but I am mainly using this as a substrate for my hamster, and I will show you the hay right now. And keep in mind that I actually bought this quite some time ago, so it's been used. And this is the hay. I really like it. Why? Because it has very minimal hard stems. Like you see, it's so minimal. I only find like a few hard sticks, and when I squeeze my hand, right, it's mostly soft hay leaves, so it's very easy for me to remove all these hazards that can actually potentially hurt my hamster when my hamster pouches it in its cheek. And yeah, I just really like the Diamond Cut, and I honestly thought that it was expensive when I first bought it, but look at how much hay this is. Like, it's so much, and this is like compacted hay, so if you like loosen it up, it can actually expand way more. Like, look at it, and it can actually also hold burrows very well. And this is like half of it. Like, I actually am passing the other half to someone else. And yeah, this is a lot of hay, and it's a lot more affordable compared to buying like a packet of hay that I previously tried before, which is the Oxbow, I think, second cut. Yeah, and there were a lot of hard stems in there, so I had to spend a lot of time like picking out all the stems before I felt like the hay was safe enough for my hamster to use. And even then, as I was picking it out, all the leaves were like breaking apart. But what I really like about this one is that it doesn't break apart. Like, look, even if I squeeze it, right, it still holds its shape, and it smells very fresh. Like, there's a very fresh smell of grass, right, when I open the package. And you can see the stems are very easy to pick out. So I really like that I tried, and I bought this for my hamster, and my hamsters actually love using it as a substrate for them to engage in, to burrow in, and they also like to bring it to their nest as well. I would tell you more in the next part of this video about what you have to look out for and the pros and cons about using hay as substrate. So that was the Timothy hay, and now I will talk more about what you need to look out for when using hay. Number one was the one that I mentioned earlier in the video, which was the hard stems that can cause injury. So make sure you remove those before giving the leaves to your hamster. And other than that, the other thing you have to look out for is how much hay does your hamster eat. Like, does your hamster eat the hay that you use as substrate? Because my hamster, she doesn't like Timothy hay at all. Like, she won't eat it, which is good when you're using it for substrate, because you don't want them to be eating too much hay because of the way that the hamster digestive system works. They are not able to really absorb all the other nutrients from the hay except for the fiber that it provides. So ignore whatever you see labeled as the nutrient content of the hay, because the hamster is not able to absorb that. So you don't want your hamster to be eating too much hay, because essentially it will be starving itself of nutrients that it requires. So as long as your hamster doesn't really eat the hay that you use as substrate, then it should be alright. Otherwise, I would recommend to use something else for substrate and just give a little bit of hay for it as a treat and for it to interact with. So my hamster, she only eats alfalfa hay leaves and not the Timothy hay, so I can use it as a substrate without being concerned about whether she's having a proper diet or not. Also, the other thing that you should look out for is that you will have to check if the hay would be infested with bugs or not, because there are bugs that tend to be there, so you have to take a look before using. Otherwise, you might have to freeze the hay before using, or you might have to dry it to kill the bugs. So that you can actually find more information online as well. And for me, I really like this hay because it is soft enough. It is good quality hay, which I can tell from the moment that I open the box. I can smell this like very fresh, like grass smell. And yeah, the only thing is that the storing of the hay, you might it will turn brown over time. So that's why I recommend to share with others so that you can keep your fresh hay. Keep the hay fresh when you use it. Yeah. So the pros and cons about using hay as a substrate. Well, one of the pros would be that it provides a more green look to your enclosure. So if you're looking for a natural setup, then that is another substrate that you can use. And it's also, when you first use the hay, it's very fresh and there's a very like grass fresh smell. So you can actually use that as part of covering up the scent of like the defecation, urine, or if your hamster is especially smelly, then that will also help with like a natural scent control measure. So another thing that is good about the hay is that it provides an additional texture for your hamster to interact with. So it also provides them another option for enrichment if they want to borrow in something soft or something else like hay. So that is another good thing about using hay for substrate. Then for the cons of it would be that it's not really good at odor control compared to paper and aspen, and other kinds of litter as well, other kinds of bedding. And it can also like cause bug infestation over time, so that is another thing you have to look out for. And I wouldn't really recommend hay for a main bedding substrate because it's not really soft enough. And although it can hold tunnels, which is really good, it just doesn't provide that kind of stable structure that will hold itself when you use wood and paper. So that is all that I have to share about the hay today. I hope that it was helpful. And if you like this video, remember to give me a like and a subscribe. Thank you so much. Look forward to more hamster related videos. Goodbye.